She burns the bridges in my head by lighting up a fire. Bury my old thoughts instead so you could feel the same. I lay alone with you inside my mind. We would dance the night away to the morning light. Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. Yeah, yeah. And we give you. You look so good in the morning light, reflections in my mind. Missing the fights, I don't care if I'm right, let's just buy a bit more time. I live alone with you inside my mind. We would dance the night away till the morning light. Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. Yeah, yeah. And we give you. And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. Yeah, yeah.
I gotta feel it, you don't mean it, while you're sad right now. I gotta feel it, there's something about your eyes. Gotta feel it, I don't mean it, I don't mean it. Every time you hurt me,
Welcome to Ubuntu XP. The Microsoft of Linuxes. Wait, did I? Yeah. I'm just cleaning my desktop. Wait. Oh, we need to test you. Look up user statistics. It's been a month. Over a month since PewDiePie came to Linux. Why are you not opening? Oh, they gained 0.04% since last check. Wait. Well, we could... I don't know if we can't take June. Oh, we can't take June with us. It's the same shit. Wait. Let's try and... Let's just take 2010. Populate the data. Oh, my Mac Mini is great. I have no complaint about that one. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, it's up to 9. So it gained 0.05% since last month. Well, what if he's not? Yeah, what if he secretly is not running Linux? Who would have known, or who would have thought? My Stickman, Open Core Legacy. What do we have here? And remove all of this shit here, I guess. I don't want to make you my... I could make it my... Hey, Vastery. Hey, you have someone else rise mint for... I think he's using arts now, though. So he went away from mint to arts, and then he's using Hyperland on arts. And everyone is like... That's so advanced. My brain cannot comprehend it. No. If you just have like 2 brain cells in your fucking brain, you can do it. I just recorded a video yesterday that probably will angry a lot of people. So I've been looking into... this, and Apple have made it so fucking easy for game developers to support Apple. Way easier than on Linux and Windows. And if Windows should disappear tomorrow, at least for gaming, it looks like it's a no-brainer because it's kind of like supporting a console. You code once and you run everywhere. You're at work right now. What is the... it must be like 10 o'clock where you are, something like that, right? 10, 11 o'clock? I don't know. I don't know what he's running. Application cluster issue. Ugh. I've been looking into the Mongo database a little bit before I started the stream. I may run that at work for something. I think. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they have a lot of tool that makes it convenient to code for good old Macintosh. We use Postgres also. Well, it's like 11 a.m. Yeah, no, it's like you basically the only thing you have to basically account for is the screen resolution, because they almost run the same hardware now. Like I won't. What is the word? Be surprised if iPhones, at least the Pro versions, are going to run M series chipset soon also. Well, the M series is basically just a beefed up A series chipset anyway. Yeah, I've never fucked around with databases much either, to be honest. Oh, this is Swift? It looks a lot like C plus C sharp. I'm not. So I have another. We are using Superbase. It does most of the work for us. Superbase, I think it's called. Superbase. Then you basically just have to set up your database and your tables and all that bullshit. What other programming languages can we use? Object-C. Why are you not refreshing? Why are you not refreshing? It's basically the same? I don't... what? Mental render process descriptor equals nil. The free tier is super amazing, though. Like, this is what you get for free. You just have to remember that they get paused after 1 week of inactivity. So if your database is not active for a week, it gets paused, but you can just go in and unpause it, basically. But like for $25 a month, it's like you get a lot. Do. Yeah, a lot of people are people that don't like Firebase or what the fuck the Google version of this is. They go over here, and the people that can't afford Azure database, Azure MySQL, because that shit. So for us to do, like, I'm meaning like really, really small traffic to the database on MySQL on Azure, like, I mean, like, almost not use it, would cost us about $400 a month or something like that. $350 to $400 a month. For just having it there and accessing it a few times a week. And updating it, like, maybe daily. With a little bit of data. It's super expensive using Azure. And the Androids, not Android, I keep calling it Android. The Google's alternative is almost as expensive. This one here is Hey Google, just shut up. My fucking Nest just activated itself. Yeah, we're using the free version at work right now. And it holds a product database. And we're not even oversaturating it. And we are using it for telemetry, and we also have a telemetry database. Amazon is too expensive. We looked into Amazon, and it will end up, it's almost as expensive as fucking Microsoft. It's just Microsoft and Amazon almost only is like good for massive corporations. If you what the fuck? What is this? Why am I getting so? Oh, fucking bots! Go away. Yeah, the databasing is weird. I don't like it. Databasing is a weird fucking thing, man. You're going to do a lot of analytics, and it's almost like the Excel sheet version for developers. Like, I feel like when you're doing databasing, it's like you're sitting, like if you're an accountant or something like that, you're sitting and fucking around in Excel sheets all day. And making graphs and relations and making sure the data is there and correct and, yeah. It just seems like it's just data handling, which is like, can get super boring really fast. Well, I think it's because it's like I'm not calling it a low entry job, but it's like there are so many people that can do it, so it's easy to fill the quota, so to speak. Like, it's not super difficult to do databasing if you like educate yourself or go on taking education for it. But yeah, it's just like you're babysitting a shit ton of data, which is fucking irritating. Like, we have one that do data analytics and with Power BI, and holy fuck. I had to upgrade his computer because the RAM ran out, or made it so slow. And he's taking data from different databases and analyzing, sales data, production data, and all that fucking shit. You know what a data analytic do. And you can just see every time he has to do, he also do app development. And you can just see every time he has to work for data analytics, the side of that the side of the company with data analytics. After like an hour, you could just see his life is just sucked out of him. He just looked like a fucking zombie sitting there like, I just want to kill myself, I just want to kill myself, just want to kill myself, just want to kill myself. So at least when he's doing app development, he's somewhat more engaged. But the second they're like, oh, can you do this thing with this database for some data analytics? And it's like, where's the lava pit in Minecraft? I want to jump into it. Yeah, I think a lot of people that want a more cozy job will go from sysadmin, netadmin, and stuff like that into database maintenance, or what you will call it. Being a network administrator is fucking irritating. You're running around like a motherfucker in some instances. I do not follow, but I saw a guy. He's probably like between a system administrator and network administrator, but he would like record his daily work, where he would just drive in a car up to different small little cluster servers or server hubs the company had in America. So they have like a little shed with like 1 or 2 servers in there, or server racks in there. And he would drive around the state and just go into each room and then do whatever he needs to do, upgrade a rack or, update some cables, check some software and stuff like that. Then he would go in the car and drive to the next spot and do the same shit, or he will work one day in one spot all the time, upgrading either hardware, software, setting up other software solutions and stuff like that. Like, it sounds super boring to me, to be honest, but he liked it. He spent most of the time in unless he had to work a whole day in one of those rooms to fix something. But he likes it because he said he spent most of the time on the road. He spent most of his time during the day driving from one site to another site. Which I've tried that before and it gets really boring really fast. If you have a lot of traveling between smaller jobs, it gets if you're spending more time traveling than working, it gets super boring really fast. Software PXX, that's part of the actually. Yeah, I can see that being part of the fun. Yeah. Yeah, but like what he did was like, it's almost like being, like just a support guy. He didn't fuck around much with the servers. He would upgrade like a hard drive here and there, and a connection was getting loose. He would fix that. If there was like a server software update, he would run that. Like, it was not like he had to like troubleshoot a lot. He was basically just like a traveling IT support guy, more or less. Just a fancy, just for server racks. But he made what he said, he made a really, really good living doing it. So, if you like driving and stuff like that, that's, But his company was also like one of the a smaller one. I think he stopped upload. He would also like, that's also what he would do is, he would go in there and then tidy up the cable management if over the years it's gotten too well, fucked up or clustered or what you will call it. He would go in and tidy up the cable. It was for a company. He was not a contract. He worked for a company, but you could say that he kind of like worked as a contractor because he drove a lot. Contractors tend to drive a lot sometimes. But no, it was a full position in a company. And that company, I'm almost sure they actually owned those server rooms. And again, it's a few years ago, so I can barely remember it. But I think what they did was like they did something where they needed to be local for smaller businesses. Where they needed to have like small, so they provided something that needed to be somewhat locally served. Probably because of speed, latency, or what, I don't know, but they were not a massive company, and they were then supporting or serving their solution to medium to small companies. So we're not talking like Walmart and stuff like that. I don't know. I can't remember it. There's also another channel on YouTube where the whole channel is about tidying up cable messes. So they go into a server room, and then they go into server rooms where the cable is all over the fucking place, and then they tidy it up. And so for some fucking reason, people like watching that. And you just go in and unplug cables, plug them back in, and route them correctly, and change the bad ones out with the good ones, or even update them to higher quality, and then that's all they do all day. That I can see being a even more fucking niche kinda, like, I can't see that being like a job that a lot of people are doing, to be honest. Because most companies don't really give a fuck as long as it's working. Which is sad. They it could be. I think at one point, I think one of the racks in one of the buildings was actually hosting virtual machines. I think he was fucking around with some VMware kind of thing. With SIM card. So like a mobile card or like a PCI card. Well, that was one of the rooms when he was doing some virtual hosting, I think. The company was. Because a lot of the rooms or buildings, they didn't do the same thing. Some of them did one thing, and some other one just did another thing. Again, it was like, yeah, they have Windows workstations, yeah. So that must be a fucking expensive data plan then. So they must be using, like, what are you guys on over there? Are you on 5G or 4G? What is the most used bandwidth that you're using? Because I know you guys have like obnoxious data plans over there. Okay, you are on 5G. Okay, at least you're on 5G. I just know that the States are super behind with the mobile infrastructure. And it's like massively fucking expensive. I just got upgraded to a 200 gigabyte plan. And 50 gigabyte in all of EU. For about $15 a month. I pay and I have unlimited text, unlimited phone calls, and it cost me about $15 a month, if even that. More like than 13 to 14. let's say 20. Let's say 25. $25, right? Yeah, about $25. Yeah, I don't have 1 gigabyte, but we can get like fiber for or half of that. Here in Denmark. I actually have to check if I can, because they upgraded they've been upgrading the infrastructure like the last 10 years. And they're getting out to the outskirts where I live the last few years, so I don't know if I can upgrade my internet speed. It would be nice if I can get fiber now. Yeah, so I've heard a lot of people that work with like the internet infrastructure in the States say that you guys are still heavily depending on copper wiring, and that's why you pay so much, because they have boosters and all kind of crazy fucking shit. Oh, so they are starting to upgrade now from copper to fiber. Yeah, most of Denmark have fiber now. I just live in one of the smaller areas, smaller populated areas, so we're like one of the... Like, most places in my town have fiber. But because I live in an apartment complex, it's up to... So the fiber wire is drawn to the apartment complex. But it's up to the apartment complex owners to then take it and put it in the building, of course. And the building union that I live in, or I pay my rent to, they have like spots different places in my city. Apparently don't deem it necessary where I live to just basically take the cable. And they get it. I don't even think they have to pay for it or anything like that. They just don't want to spend the time doing it. Because the box to give us fiber is like 20 meters away from my apartment complex. I had like a service technician looking at my connection because I was having issue at one point. And apparently a filter in a box was broken, so I got a lot of noise. And my internet was super unstable. And he was like, why don't you have fiber up here yet? I don't know. And he was like, it's been available in that box for like 5 years now or something like that. He's like, but it's up to the apartment complex to, wire the fiber inside the building. Which is a super low expense. But they have not done that yet. So it's already ready. You just have to wire the internal building up. But you know how it is with people. They don't want to spend money with things they don't see immediate feedback from. And the thing is, if they upgraded it for fiber, they could easily raise the rent money. Because people are willing to, pay a little bit more for a place with, good Ethernet connection or internet connection. But mine is like fine, I guess. It's not like I'm missing speed. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing speed. I do download most games in a, satisfying manner, in my opinion. Uploads is okay for what I'm doing. I probably should look into my provider and see what they can give me out here. I tend to do that every few years. I contact my provider and it's like, hey, I live here and here, can you... What is your speed? And apparently I have the second fastest one they can give me. To discuss my company's job function. Oh, that's an NVIDIA driver update, apparently. But can you talk about your company? I thought it was a lot like hush-hush when you're contracted from the government. Oh, so I dug in... I researched the whole Denmark moving to to Linux and LibreOffice, it gets even more crazy, okay? So, they are not moving to Linux. They are only moving their Office suite away from Microsoft. They're not moving Windows away. It's only they're only going to LibreOffice. Because someone I think it was PC Magazine or something like that, posted it posted an article about it on Facebook, and a lot of Danish IT experts corrected them. And that was because the translation tool apparently didn't translate the words correctly that the IT whatever had said to a Danish newspaper. Because they haven't talked to someone in Denmark, they just translated a Danish news article. That's how they got the information. So they're not moving to Linux, they're only moving the Office suite to LibreOffice. And it's only as a test trial to see how it works. And here's the kicker. It's only for 200 people. It's only for 200 people. Funny enough, a German city tried doing this a few years ago, and they had to move back to Microsoft Office because they could not work with LibreOffice. It just could not work with them at all. It didn't do anything they wanted to do, and apparently it cost them a shit ton of money because people could not use it. They have to get training, and they found out it was not compatible with the other services they were using, and so they spent like a lot of money trying to move away from Microsoft Office to then move back to Microsoft Office. LibreOffice is really bad, yeah. Like it sounds like it's unusable. No, LibreOffice is great if you are an individual that need an office, whatever, an office suite to work locally for yourself. So if you're doing, like, let's say, shopping list, you're writing essays, you're writing school papers, it's great for that. It's great for that. Anything besides that is where it's like, bleh. Well, they are trying to copy a lot of features from Google Docs and Microsoft Office, but, it's open source. They have to wait for people actually willing to contribute or funding, have funding to do so. But no, LibreOffice is great. Like, if you need what Microsoft Office gave you, like, in 2000, LibreOffice is great for that. If you need an offline, one individual Office suite, it's great for that. Amazing for that. But the second you want to go further than that, it just falls on its stick and stabs itself in the face. But like, again, if you need to write like a essay for school or a doctorate paper for your professor, amazing for that. Yeah, Google, that's why a lot of people just use Google Docs, because it does everything LibreOffice does, or they need from LibreOffice, and they can access it everywhere. They can access the documents everywhere. And they can, I can add you as a cooperator, and you can then notate my papers, and we can easily share them, and yeah, it's just, I am almost sure that those 200 people are going to be really, really disenfranchised with LibreOffice really fast. Like, LibreOffice as it is today would have been great like 2010, maybe. But LibreOffice today is where Microsoft Office was in 2010. Yeah, I mean, it sucks so bad with this whole proprietary versus open source bullshit. I'm getting so tired of it. Honestly, it's one of the reasons why Linux is so fucking under-supported. Because it's so difficult to support Linux. Because no matter what you do, people will get angry. Then you're not open source enough, or then you're too proprietary. Well, it's kind of the same, but We want you to support us, but you have to open source it, which costs hundreds of thousands, depending, or thousands of dollars to convert to open source. It's not like just releasing the source code, because you can have libraries code in there that you have bought or used that don't permit you to share that code, you know. And well, it's hey Max, it depends what cake. Just in general, if you your favorite cake versus your favorite ice cream, which one will you pick? It's because the Linux world have this like purity kind of belief, you know, that there can only be that way. That's why I say they are really close-minded. Because they think there can only be this way, you know. There's no really room for anything else. Because they think that we all are living in a world where everyone is a developer. Like, you have to remember, the Free Software Foundation was formed by a developer for other developers. It was not formed to take over the desktop world or anything like that. It was formed so it was easier for other developers to fix bugs and stuff like that, and give back in a time where fixing a bug took a lot of time, because you communicated over phone and everything was done locally. They didn't have the internet in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or at least they had like really, really rudimentally, you know, Ethernet connections. Nowadays, if Scooby sells me a software and I have a problem with it, I just take up the fucking phone and I'm like, you fucking idiot, I have dildos all over my screen. And he's like, oh yeah, we had like a Christmas party. Give me 5 seconds and he would push or update and it will update and it's done. Most problem, or not most, but a lot of problems in software is fixed like that nowadays. That's why you have a service agreement. You call them up and say your software is fucked up. They fix it and send an update. You don't have to update it anymore, like it was back in the day. But back in the day, seeing the source code made sense, because then you didn't have to either call someone and wait for them to travel to your city and they fix it and blah, 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 blah. Which could take weeks depending on where they are in the world. You couldn't just like call and say, oh, my fucking tape machine's code is broken. Because nothing was accessible from the outside in. You had to be there to fix it. Or send the code to them. So the floppy disk or the tape machines or whatever it is. Like, look at this here. This is like a server from the 70s. You know, these big things here were the source code. Like, you know, these things in here is the code. So imagine, like, one of these had, like, a bug in them. You have to, you know, either call for a new one, or send it in and get a new one, or send it in, getting it fixed and get it re-recorded, resent, or someone had to come in there and they can fix it in there, in the studio here. And then if we go up to the 80s, you see, it gets a little bit more like, we get a little bit more, still have wire hanging out all over the place. A little bit more fancy, at least the closer we get to the 90s. So then we had these kind of things here, floppy disks, some big ones, some small ones, but they didn't hold that much data, but again, back then you didn't need that much data. So here you can see, let's say this one here broke, or there was a bug on it. Well, you did have a floppy reader and read-writer, just like, you know, a CD rewrite kind of thing. But you couldn't see the source code. It was proprietary. It was also properly compiled, So you have to decompile it. It was not like you compiled it every time you have to run the program. So that means that you couldn't see the source code. And even if you could see the source code, it was on another floppy disk or 10 other floppy disks. Then you have to fix the bug, compile it. It takes a lot of time. And then you had to run it. That was if you had the source code. If you didn't have the source code, you mailed this to some person somewhere. Because this was before laptops was like really a thing. So you had to send the fucking media to someone to fix it for you. Or you call them up and they will send you a replacement, basically. Which could take, depending on how the postal service is and how far away they live from each other, just like took a long ass time. And it's super inconvenient. And that is why Richard Stallman had a good idea. If we can see the source code, we don't have to deal with all this shipping things around, and I don't have to call you for you to come with a new thing or come here and fix it and blah. I can just do it and we can continue our server work. Now we have the internet, we don't need this shit anymore. And most programs are stored in the cloud that's controlled by the program owner anyway. So if there is an issue, you just call them up and say, your Docker container, blah, 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 is hacking my fucking bank account. So Fox became a cult. Well, Richard Stallman has always been a nutcase. He's always been like a Marxist hippie, roughly speaking. So he always had these ideas. And then I think he just went nuts. He got some success. And he's like, I can influence people now. And then he started to influence people with his politics. And then the people that are in the Richard Stallman camp are the obnoxious cult people. The Foss people. The Linus Torvalds people are the one that see him as a god. Funny enough. Are fine to deal with because they're pragmatics. So that's why. So the Linus people started the open source movement. That's different from the Free Software Foundation. Because the open source movement, which movement sounds a little bit weird, but their whole goal is just, they don't care that much about the philosophies and the politics, they just want to get shit done. So Richard Stallman hates the open source movement. He hates it. Because they are more willing to work with proprietary software to get shit done. And that goes against Richard Stallman's belief that every code and every hardware on Earth should be open source. Nothing is excluded. That's his dream. But the open source movement say, if you can, you should, but we won't tell you to do it. We don't expect you to do it, and we will not require you to do it. Those are the two camps that are. And the first purists really hate the open source movement. Because they will go to Microsoft and say, yeah, we can work on a license that allow you to like proprietary X, Y, and Z. They don't care about giving up some freedom now to advance the technology. When I mean freedom, I mean the source availability. And there has been cases where the open source movement had done that, where they have like modified a license or work with the evil companies where the Free Software Foundation people have gotten twisted out of their fucking mind and yelled and screamed at them. But it is because Richard Stallman more or less is a cult leader. He has that cult mindset. So you will be an open source movement guy. And here's the fun thing. Most technical people, so a lot of the idols in the Linux world that did a lot of the big technology advances in Linux are open source movement guys. If you are you will fit in with the open source movement. Because they don't care if you like proprietary software or not. They don't give a fuck. They prefer that you did open source, but they don't care. They will work with you, they will help you out, they will do whatever you need. So in the Linux world, you would be an open source movement guy. Where the free software people will force you to do open source and would not work with you if you don't do open source and preach and all that fucking crazy shit forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But a lot of people have mushed it together nowadays, and some open source movement people have gotten a little bit more radicalized, I think the word is. Yeah, I used to, when I was in school, I used to like download porn onto these floppy disks here. We would use the school internet to download porn not videos, but pictures and take them with us home. Because remember, back then, they didn't really know how to not monetize, but to moderate the internet. And every time they did something to, domain log or something like that, we always found a way out of it. We always found a way to circumvent their limitations on the school network. Because the teachers knew almost as little as we did about what was going on with the internet. There was always one dude in there which dad knew how to circumvent shit or have seen his dad do that and whatnot. So it's super, super fun. It was super funny. Yeah, we didn't do stuff like that. Like Halo was not even out when I was in school. Like, it was like Doom LAN party or Unreal Tournament parties and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I played the Halo 1 demo. I can't even remember. I remember, like, the first ever game I played on macOS was Halo 1. Because they supported it on macOS back in the day. It was one of the few games that was natively supported on macOS. Besides some of the Valve games. Like, so I played Halo on Mac. And I played Half-Life 2, I think? Or did I do that on the boot camp with Windows? I can't remember now. Actually, I think it was boot camping that, yeah. Well, it took a long time for the Xbox to take... The Xbox One, like the original Xbox, didn't do much. I had that one. It was like a bad machine. But it was more or less a computer. I also had the original PlayStation. I saved up for like 6 months to get that one. And then we played the demo disc for like a month because I couldn't afford any games for it. Yeah, the 360 was the one that really fucking pushed the Xbox up, yeah. Because PlayStation was like... Nintendo and PlayStation was the thing. And then the 360 kind of established... Like, the original Xbox was not too bad. It was just like... It was just too new or what, like... Nintendo was already established and we still have Sega to some degree. And Sony is like, also somewhat known for doing crazy, not crazy shit, but doing gaming related stuff to some degree. And the original PlayStation was just a way better machine than the original Xbox. It was also smaller. Like, they really had it together. It was better than the PS2, but there was barely any games for it, and therefore people didn't buy it, PC gaming was the most popular thing. So PC gaming was really popular up till about 2015. That's where 2015 is where console gaming and mobile gaming took over PC gaming. Up till then, most people played on PCs. And console gaming, you have to remember back then, you could actually build a computer that could beat a console in graphic for less money. Yeah, funny enough. You could build a computer for less money than it cost to buy a console that could beat it. Nowadays, the price of a console barely would fucking cover the graphic card. You know? But back then, you could build, like, if you bought, like, let's say a $500 gaming console, you could build a $500 computer that would be either comparable and, depending on what deals you get, even be a little bit better than the console. You know, it was... For Morrowind, yeah, there was a lot of problem with the original Xbox. But yeah, PC gaming back then was like amazing. Yeah, but again nowadays, like, unless you're rich as a motherfucker, I don't see any reason why to PC game anymore. Unless you're like a live streamer or you game like 10 hours a day or something like that, because it's a waste of money. Like, you get decent graphical fidelity on any console nowadays. Like, it's not like you are fucking puking by looking at the graphic. Yes, can you get better on PC? Of course you can. And if you have the money and are willing to spend it, then do it. So unless you're like a heavy modder or something like that, or you need the graphic card for like machine learning and whatnot, there's barely no reason to have a gaming PC anymore. Not to speak about that most games are just console ports anyway, and they run like shit on PC now. That was also a thing back in the day where everything just ran better on PC. Like, their console could not even keep up, to be honest. Nowadays, some fucking games run better on console than they do on PC. But yeah, it's gotten downhill fast. It only took them like about 10 years to ruin PC gaming. I mean ruining, I mean the hardware vendors, you know, starting to get greedy and whatnot. Not to talk about the game development also fucking went downhill. All the good, like, funny enough, back in the day, like Blizzard, Activision, EA, they were looked at as fucking gaming gods. They would like produce one amazing game after the other. Well, first of all, hey Cody, first of all, most people don't want to tinker with their I was about to say equipment. It sounds like they don't want to tinker with their penis, but they don't want to tinker with their consumer electronics anymore. Or appliances. People, they want the easy way out, you know. And the easy way out is to just get a console. Or a laptop. And not to speak about, it takes less power, it takes less room. Which is also it's wife approved, as a lot of people will say. It's easier to convince your spouse to get like a gaming console in the house than a big, massive, noisy, ugly PC. So that kind of not killed it, but made it so, you know, when people got a family and moved in with each other, they will probably move over to console gaming a little bit more. And then hardware vendors noticing that, oh, there's a lot of PC gamers, we can actually amp up the price and they're willing to pay it. So over the years, the graphic card vendors, the motherboard vendors, the CPU vendors, they just amped up the price and gave us but every time they added a new feature, you paid like double for that new feature or something like that was barely useful for you whatsoever. You know, because the PC gamers were stupid enough to pay that amount of money for it. But then at one point, it became cheaper to just buy a console. So a lot of people start doing that, but we're used to paying X amount or getting X amount of money. We don't have the same customer volume anymore. So earning the same amount of money means let's amp up the price so we get the same amount of money out of lesser customers. That's what's going on now, is that not almost, but the customer volume of hardware has gotten down, and they are trying to retain the revenue by amping up the price. You know. And people are still stupid enough to pay that kind of... Or some people are. So that's why handheld gaming and console gaming took over the PC gaming world in 2015, and now it's just dwarfing it. Like, handheld gaming is the most explosive gaming market for the last 5 years or something like that. Even before that, I think like 2017 or something like that, it just like dwarfed console and PC gaming in money spent in games sold, and units sold. Apparently, the Steam Deck has worse battery life than Nintendo has. The Nintendo Switch 2 have. Well, most people don't do that though. You know, most people, they don't sit and game at home, and then they go and travel and game. You know, so they don't go to work and game on the way to work. So if they want to game on their way to work, they will just have a handheld gaming device, and that will be the only gaming device they have. And that's because most people are actually working on their way to work nowadays, you know. Well, RAM and SSDs are now gunning, yes, you know. No, Lamer, they are not. They are not. So I looked into the thing. So here's the thing: the American news outlets, all of them got it wrong, because they translated a Danish news article wrong. So here it is, because a lot of gaming journalists from the state posted on Facebook, and a lot of Danish IT experts had to correct them. And I mean, they got dwarfed in the comment section in a lot of instances. So they are not moving to Linux. No Linux movement whatsoever. The only thing they're moving is from Microsoft Office to LibreOffice. And they're only doing it as a test. And it's only about 200 people. So if those 200 people are satisfied in 6 months, or actually I think it's hundreds of people that are moving over. And if those hundreds of people are satisfied, 200 people will move over. A few years ago, Germany tried to ditch Microsoft Office and spend a lot of money doing it, for then a year later or 2 years later to go back to Microsoft Office. Germany already tried this and failed. But Denmark didn't listen to them. But again, that's again a mistranslation from American outlets. The German government is not planning. They tried to do so a few years ago. Actually, I can't remember when it was. No, they are not trying to do it again. No. Again, like I said, it's a mistranslation, or whatever it is. Because I think they asked they asked someone in Germany if they were going to do it, and they were like, I think it was like it's not out of the possibility or something in that nature. Like, they were open for the idea, but there's no plan to do it. There's no plan to do it. It was like speculations. Like, they were like every what is it called? Every respectful company or organization reevaluate its tech stack every like X amount of years, and that's basically the notion that they came out with. And that is also again, now it gets a little bit muddy because it depends on who you believe in the comment section, but that's also why they are moving to. They're testing out LibreOffice in Denmark. It's not because of politics. It's not because of... Well, it is, of course, because of the price, if you can save a little bit of money. But it's because they're reevaluating their tech stack So they're doing a test to see if it's possible. So all this thing that it was because of Trump and all that bullshit seems to be, again, lies. Like, I'm starting to have this, like, categorically a statement that if you hear anything from an American-based outlet, don't trust it. If it's something about non-American things. Because they they don't even fucking, like, send an email, hey, can you clarify this? They just badly translate, apparently, European sites that is done in the native language. They just badly translate that to American or English and then make up their mind of what they actually mean if they can't figure it out or something like that. This has happened so many fucking times. You know? And when you say, or when people say the German government, it has to mean the whole government. Because that's what they said at the beginning with Denmark, that the whole Danish government is moving over to Linux and LibreOffice. No, it's a section of the government that are trying it out. There could be a section in the German government that are thinking about trying it out. And the fun thing is, the people commenting on those articles, which are people that work in that field, the office field, were like, oh, my company tried that and it fucking blew up in our face, or good luck getting X, Y, and Z to work, and hey, congratulations with crashing all the time with big documents, and they were ripping them a new fucking ass. And then some Linux users will come in and say, oh, there surely is a lot of Windows fanboys in here, and most of them were like, it seems like they were working in the IT industry. The only place I can see it working is for offline document working. Like I said, like if you're a student or you're just sitting at home and making a shopping list, or you want to make your kids like invitation flyer to their birthday party and stuff like that. I cannot see LibreOffice being good as a corporate office suite. Maybe Word, what is it called? Word Office or the Chinese one? What is it called? The one everyone raved about a few years ago. What the fuck was it called? No, not OpenOffice. Because that had a little bit more VPF Office. VPF Office, I think that's the one. But it's a Chinese company, so that may... But yeah, this probably have better... This would probably be... This would probably be a better solution, if I'm being honest. But I think there is some paywall-ish things going on with this one here. Like, it's only like the basic thing that's free. So I don't know. Oh, here you can see... Yeah, so you still have to pay some money for things a lot of people would want. At least offices would want. Like, it's not super expensive, to be honest. It's like $12 or $15. Yeah, it will be about $150 for a year or something like that. So I think this is why they're not doing this, is because some of the things are behind a paywall. We could try and download it and see what it's about. Let's do a deb package. When the fuck was it updated? The last time for Linux, though. Install. Give me my kidney. Oh, what happened there? Install. This is going to take forever, apparently. What are you doing? Are you compilating the universe? Get your ass together, boy. It's probably downloading some shit. Oh, it's installed. We didn't see if it got any... Oh, this looks awful. So this is like Qt library. Holy fucking shit. Missing fonts. It seems to work quite well. I kind of like the look and feel of it, to be honest. Oh! This is a problem. This is an issue. I need some in Danish, at least like in English. Let's do this one here then. Yeah, it seems to not be that well fleshed out. Is there anything that's in Chinese? Let's see what we have here. Good old Chinese. Insert. Oh, they like this ribbon menu. Yeah, like, it seems to be like, okay, like, I really don't know what to... Like, I never really used it that much. I mostly just use LibreOffice. Holy fuck, it's crashing all over the place. But yeah, I also mostly use Google Docs. But I think this one here, because they have, like, online storage capabilities and all that bullshit, this would probably have been a better solution than LibreOffice for them to test out, to be honest. Oh, she's happy. Apple is just so well documented. Like that, this is something like the open source community really fucking need to step their asses up about. Like, it's so badly documented. Almost any FOSS program is so badly documented. Well, that's it's the good old notion, you know. People are willing to pay for good things. They accept crap from free shit because they didn't pay for it. So they will. So when someone say, "Oh, this is a good," let's just say, software, they always have it against this notion of what did I pay for it. So good don't mean good, okay? Good for a paid software or something you pay for means that it's good quality. I feel I got the value that I paid for. You know, it's worth what I paid for it. I got the value out of the product. Good for free, something that's free, basically just means that I can use it, I guess. I didn't really pay for it, it's okay. So good for something that you don't pay for is not... Don't weigh as much as good for something you pay for. And that's like... Is it called evolutionary psychology, where they have like studies about this? Like, I think that's what in that area where they study people's buying habits and why they buy stuff and what they mean behind the, you know, the way that they review, you know, and people are willing to forgive a lot of shit if it's free. But the second they have to just pay $1 for it, they start to get more harsh about a thing. So this is my theory. Yeah, VPS has always been on Linux sideboard. Yeah. So this is my theory, okay? Let's just say that you had to pay you had to pay for all Linux software. It had a dollar value to it. It can be whatever you would think would be fair. If that was the case, that will help or eradicate 90% of all distributions on Earth. Because people would not think they got their value out of that, even if it was just $1. They would not pay $1 for most distributions. On the other hand, also would not pay $1 for most software that are in the repo. So that should tell you the amount of quality that is in the Linux world. And how do I know this? Because there are distributions that try to get people to pay for them, and they were yelling and screaming because they had to pay for them, even if it was only $1. So that means in their mind it's not worth $1, because if it was worth $1, they wouldn't complain, they would just pay the dollar. The second they start to complain is because they feel that it's not worth $1. So think about that. But when they're complaining that they had to pay for something that used to be free, it's either that the dollar amount is just way too high for what it's worth, in their opinion. But it is always because it's too high for what it's worth. So if they don't even want to pay $1 for a distribution, in the community's eyes, that means that distribution is not worth $1. That's basically what they're saying, is like, this is not worth $1. So again, think about this. If you put FOSS software behind a paywall, even if it's as low as $1, and they don't want to pay it, that's basically saying that this software is not worth $1. That's basically what this. Again, there's so many studies done in this. Like, that's how they figure out, you know, what the quality should be for what you're paying. So that's why when you're paying plastic cups, like one-use plastic cups, they could make them last forever. But it defeats the purpose. it defeats the purpose on one-use cops, and it will also confuse the customer. They will feel that they got a deal out of it. Some people would actually get angry over it, because they just want flimsy, disposable cops. Funny enough. But yeah, it's an interesting field to like just watch some videos about once in a while. It's actually really, really interesting how the human mind actually works with stuff like that. It also, to some degree, explains the tribalism about being a fan person, about whatever you're a fan person of. What did we ask Copilot for? Yeah, I got it. Let's ask it. That don't matter, because paying for software is nothing. It's no different than you pay for a shirt, or you pay someone to repair your car, or you pay for a shoe. It's just that you don't feel it's worth that. That's it. To them, it's not worth it. They will, of course, ask, it used to be free, why is it paid now? Why do I have to pay for it right now? Well, if you are pirating something, that's your way of saying it's not worth what they want me to pay for it. That's it. That's another way of saying, well, it's like, I don't want to pay you $1 for your software, but I'm willing to steal it anyway. So again, you're saying that you don't think it's worth the amount that is put onto that software. So you're just stealing it. Because you don't deem it being worthy enough. And by the way, you should not pirate software if you can get it in legal ways. It depends on Linux distribution what you're getting for that price. Most Linux distros are free and open source, but some premium version or enterprise-focused distributions like Red Hat, blah blah blah, charges for added services, support, and proprietary features. Proprietary features. If you're paying for a distro, it's usually because you're getting extra value. Things like professional support, enhanced security, or optimization for specific industries, but for personal use, you can find plenty of powerful free distros like Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, or Arch Linux, or Arch Linux. Are you considering a paid distro, or just wondering about the cost efficiency? Or my Steam library is probably worth a few $1,000. Did you hear that commercial pirated the what? Did you hear that commercial? Are you saying that some commercial product pirated a font? Yeah, I have heard that a lot of people have stolen other people's work. Yeah. People steal other people's work in Libre code also. Like, you could say that, like, again, this is like over-exaggerating, bending the truth, and, but you could say that KDE have stolen the look and feel from Windows. When you are taking a software, when you are pirating a software, what are you saying? They cannot steal used pirated font. Oh, they cannot steal car used pirated. It makes no fucking sense. Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. They cannot steal at used pirated font. Again, this also don't make no sense. Are you saying they cannot steal a pirate font? You will not pirate a car advertisement. Are you saying that people will not pirate a car advertisement? I have a hard time understanding what you're trying to say. Okay, so they will not pirate a car advertisement. Well, a car advertisement is free. Like, let's say Ford made an advertisement, a car advertisement. Oh, you will not steal a car. Okay, you mean that the anti-privacy ad that ran like many years ago, that pirating is stealing, you would not steal a car. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, okay, they used a pirate font in the commercial. I don't know. But pirating is stealing. It is actively stealing. But that, you have to remember, that commercial was not for software. That commercial was for movies. That was targeted for pirating DVDs and movies. That was not for software. That was a Hollywood made, I think it was Hollywood or some associated with Hollywood, made that specifically for movies. So I don't see how that is, it is relatable to software, but they didn't make that so to target software piracy. They did that to target DVD burning factories in China and other parts of the world. Yeah, of course it does. But let me tell you something. The reason why piracy went up back then, when that happened, was because at that time, there were really no repercussion for pirating. Almost nobody got put in jail. They couldn't really figure out who did it. Then a few years later, they started to, let me put it bluntly here, suing them for fucking millions of dollars. People that had pirated content, or movies. Pirated movies. And they will sue people that burned movies for millions of dollars. That killed movie piracy. So it went up, then they started suing everyone, then it went down. What if I told you, if you have ever pirated a movie, there is a 90-ish% chance that people know you have it, and if they really, really wanted to, they could sue you, but they know you don't have any money, so they don't. Because that's actually the case. If you're pirating movies or TV series nowadays, there is a high chance, like a massively high chance, that the copyright owners have you in a database somewhere. They may not have looked at it, but they have you in a database somewhere where it actually knows that you have that movie. But because you are like a one person, like they can't get like $100,000 out of you, so why sue you? You know. They may want to. They did that also. They sued, instead of suing one person, they sued a lot of people. Well, streaming also. That's why you see a lot of streaming sites goes up and down. Is because they get locked down. What they're doing instead is they're going after the people distributing it, and making it, instead of the people that takes it. But I don't know. They did at one point, yeah. Well, that's not stealing, because here's the thing. Is it scummy? Yes. Is it greedy? Yes. But I used to be subscribed to Adobe also. And when you are subscribed to Adobe, it says with good, not fat, but it tells you that if you cancel your subscription before time, so I think it's something like that. You have to pay for 1 year at the time, or you subscribe for 1 year at the time. So if you don't want to pay the cancel fee, you have to cancel a year after you have done it, and then I think it goes by a yearly basic or something like that. And it says that in the paper you have to agree on, like in the top section, you cannot avoid to see it. And you say yes. You say yes, I agree to that. So it's not illegal, it's not stealing, because they made it somewhat easy for you to read, and you agree upon it. If you don't read what's on this on the screen, that's not their problem. That's a you problem. Have you read any end-user license for any software that you have ever run? Because if you did, you will know that you basically don't own any software that you run. That you pay for. You just pay for the opportunity to run it. And you definitely don't own most of the games that you have, because what you are basically paying for is a license to be able to download, install, and play the game. They can take that away anytime they want. But you agree to it. Should they make it more obvious and stuff like that? Of course. But they give you the information. If you don't want to read it or be stupid, that's your problem. Like, you don't take a loan and don't read everything, with a fine-comb comb. Like, you want to see how much fucking money you have to pay in interest and stuff like that. Technically, we should be as diligent with software. Yeah, Vasti, I could not agree more, to be honest. But yes, a lot of companies do crammy, scammy things. They do. But I have no fucking sympathy if people don't fucking read the end-user license, or they don't read the agreement that's in front of them on the screen. Like, if someone come and bitch and moan about, I have to do this, and I'm like, did you read the fucking papers that they served you with? No, I did not. Then it's your fucking fault. Then it's on you. I have no sympathy for you. Because you had the opportunity to step out of that agreement, and you didn't. Like, again, is it crappy and irritating? Yes, it is. But you have to fucking have some form of, like, what is it called? Responsibility on your own. Because by law, they have to tell you those things. So if you don't read it, it's like there's a box in front of me and said with big fucking letters, a crocodile will fucking eat your hand if you put it in there. And I just put it in there without reading the text. Can I sue the box? No, because it said with letters that it will eat my fucking hand. It could be on the side or on the back. It was standing there. And even say, read the text. And I didn't do that. Then it's my problem. Like, should they make it more obvious? Of course they should. But they do everything to cover their fucking ass legally, and so should you. Like, we are living in a society where we are protecting people for being stupid. Or we are allowing people to be stupid, basically. Did you read the agreement? No, I did not. Oh, poor little you. Yeah, they should just, like, they should not do it anyway, and blah, 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 blah. No. If you don't fucking read the agreement, it's on you, man. If you sign a contract and you don't read it, I have no sympathy for you. And the more important is, you may even have to hire a fucking lawyer to read it for you. And yes, it sucks. I wish it was not like that, but that's how it is. Like, if you get fooled because you are stupid, I have no sympathy for you. Because you are the exact people, like, those are the people Adobe are targeting. They are targeting people that just blindly say, yes, click, have read, and next. They do that on purpose. Because they know they can get a shit ton of money out of stupid people. Like, had they not said it anywhere, that's the reason why I stopped using Adobe, because I saw that they did that. There was a cancellation fee, and I'm like, I'm not agreeing to this. And it was really, really, like, it was not like in, like, font size 200,000, but it stood, like, if you just looked at your screen, you will see that there was a cancellation fee. And I was like, yeah, nope, I'm opting out now where there's no cancellation fee, and I'm not going back. Then I went to Sony Vegas or something like that. So, yes, Adobe should not do it, but, it is so stupid that people don't read it. Yeah, at some point, you just have to... Like, a lot of things people have problems with is self-inflicted problems. A lot of the time it's self-inflicted problems. But nobody wants to say it and nobody wants to hear it. Because we are supposed to be these, like... everyone is a unique snowflake kind of world we live in, Well, it is unusable for a lot of things, to be honest. So is Windows and macOS. It would be like you're pirating a shit ton of software and the cops comes and put you into jail. I'm like, well, I thought pirating was not... I'm not physically stealing anything. No, by law you are. Like, you could try and justify to yourself and anyone else that you are, in quotes, technically not stealing. But you are stealing. And the law says you cannot do it. So if you get caught and you get thrown in jail, it's on you, boo-boo. It's on you, my friend. No matter how much you're trying to justify it, you can justify it as much, and you could even be right in a lot of instances. But according to the law, you are not right. So I love people trying to justify pirating. I'm like, is it legal? No. Then you're doing an illegal thing. No matter how much you're trying to justify it. If it's not legal by law, you are breaking the law. No matter how stupid the law is, you're still breaking it. Here in Denmark, up to I think it was 2015 or 16, you could legally fuck an animal. Okay? Like, you could get drunk and jam your tiny penis up into the rectum of a fucking dog if you wanted to. As long as the dog didn't suffer emotionally or physically. So if you had a big massive fucking log, you could not do it, But it was legal up to I think the mid-10s to have sex with animals in Denmark. Was that a stupid law? Yeah, of course it was a fucking stupid law. But until they got it out of the law system, it was legal. Well, macOS is built for... Well, that's like saying Linux distributions are not built for server use. macOS can be a perfect server if you set it up right. It has access to the same toolchain set as Linux has. It's just that the macOS UI is not built for servers because they don't have a UI less. There are server farms that. This is another fun thing. Look at this bullshit. Here you go. macOS servers. There you go. Oh, DIPI. Oh, the long lost lover boy. This has been going on for forever. I think after they decommissioned the Xserve. Well, according to him, Linux is best for every game ever. It's the best gaming platform ever. It wants every game better than Windows. There are a guy I follow on YouTube. He has set up a cluster of Mac Minis M4s to do LLMs on. Just for fun. Like, here's how you should think about operating systems. At least Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. They can almost do the same shit. It's just easier on one of a few of them. Some just do it easier or better than the other ones. You know. But most things you can do on one OS, you can do on the others also. It's just either lack of knowledge or it's just a little bit more inconvenient to do it on the other or something like that. So this should not be a surprise. You know. But you also have to remember, this is like a $400 or $500 fucking machine, you know? Like, it's super expensive. Don't fool yourself. Like, this is not something they do for cheap. So when what Xbox had a power processor, power PC CPU in them. Oh, the 360. So when the 360 was made, Apple ran on PowerPC architecture. Microsoft was Apple's biggest customers because they bought a lot of Mac Pros to develop for the Xbox. There were companies universities where it was easier to build a supercomputer of Macs with a PowerPC CPU in it than it was actually buying a supercomputer. So they would set up supercomputers with Macintoshes. They would build supercomputers out of Macintoshes when they ran PowerPC. Because I think the PowerPC platform is done by IBM in conjunction with Apple. So this is like the Power PC. Oh, here you go, CPU Power PC. Yeah, IBM made them. Or makes them still. I think they're still making them, I don't know. And these are all the OSs that ran the architecture natively. Java OS. Have anyone of you heard about that? The GameCube. Helen OS. Oh, I know what that was. I forgot about that one. Workspace OS. Java OS. Done by Sun Microsystem, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Sun Microsystem. Built on Java. Sun Microsystem did a lot of cool tech, man. Last release last year. So this runs off I think it runs off a floppy disk. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I think it runs off a floppy disk. I actually fucked around with this. I actually think I have a video about this one somewhere. Oh, okay, it can't be on a floppy disk. It's 25 megabytes. Oh shit. What is the roadmap like? Due in 2 weeks. Self-assembly start menu hotkeys. PS2 mouse driver, okay. Should detect start of data package. There's a lot of interesting OSs out there. Oh, it's an OS2 WAP version. Ah. Yeah. So, this OS was so fun. They had the cast from Star Trek announcing it. Some of the cast members. And it would have like Star Trek sounds when you're minimizing and maximizing it and stuff like that. Like they went they went fucking balls deep into the whole Star Trek universe, or what you will call it with this here. It actually ran Windows apps better than Windows at the time. Microsoft killed it, more or less. So this was developed by Microsoft and IBM, but Microsoft developed it. And then I think IBM or Microsoft, they got into a disagreement and they parted ways. And then because most of the shit was done by Microsoft, IBM could not take up the task. And Microsoft then did Windows 95 and stuff like that. Like, that's the easy condensed version of it. And then they had like a few versions in the late 90s and it died out. But yeah, IBM commissioned Microsoft to make a competing OS. And it was actually better than their own OS. I actually ran it for a while. It was a really decent OS. But Windows 95 just fucking killed the whole computing world. Or not killed it, but, choked it up really, really fucking fast. Oh, I haven't used FreeBSD in a few years, man. Like, it's been a few years ago. Yeah, I kind of want to see what they are up to, but the FreeBSD world stands super still, man. Oh, they even have Firefox on it. It's running in VirtualBox. A Unix history chart at work, nice. Yeah, it was really crazy, yeah. My favorite OS of all time. So that's basically how Linux is nowadays. So many vendors, so many projects shifting ownership. Yeah, BOS. I love this fucking shit. Like, it ran on the same system resource. It was like twice as fast as Linux and Windows, if not more. It had technologies Windows and Linux could only dream of back in the day. Microsoft BOS XP. It was just fucking amazing. Like, it was actually the first and only time that I felt like, holy shit, I'm using something from the future here. Like, it did things you could not dream of other OSs did. So the BTIFS file system that we're using now? Well, BOS in the late 90s, or mid to late 90s, had a system kind of like that. It was not that, it didn't have all the same features, but it was built up about the same philosophies and stuff like that. Snap packages, containerized packages and app images, and the Apple image format for programs. They had a version of this in the late 90s, mid 90s, called B package or something like that, which was like basically a containerized package. They did containerized packaging before anyone else really did it. Preemptive multitasking, support for multi-threading and multi-CPUs. Yeah, they did it when Linux didn't even fucking support that. And Windows kinda did, and macOS did not support it. It's just like a god OS, if you ask me. Like, it looks super dated today, but back in the day, it looked like amazing. And now we have Haiku. Yeah, I loved this OS, man. Oh, this is their B box. Ooh. I used to drool over that. Windows will be exactly where it is today in 10 years. No, because people have gotten used to the paradigm that Windows is nowadays, so it would just continue. It would just be like the look and feel may look different. You know, they may move some UI elements around, but the concept, like, if you stop using Windows in '95 and you use it today, you will not have a problem. And in 10 years, it will be the same. If you stop using Windows today and you go back in 10 years, it will not be that much different for you. They may have implemented a shit ton of AI and stuff like that, like anyone else would have been doing. But, yeah, oh, look at this shit. So this was like release 1, so that's before they had desktop icons. It was... Oof. I should boot up Haiku and make like a nostalgic review of it. So each of these workspaces you see here, they could have different resolution and color depth. So you could test something in this one here. Then, okay, how would it look like on an 8-bit or 6-bit computer? How would it look like on a black and white screen? How would it look like on a 1080p screen? How would it look like on a 1440p screen? How would it look like on a 720p screen? Yeah, exactly, Scooby, yeah. And these are virtual desktops. They are not monitors. So they also had virtual desktops before Windows, and I think before Linux, if I'm not mistaken. It was a fucking amazing system. So this was a community release of BOS before they really kicked the bucket. It's old. It's super old. So this was their last project before they really died. This is a famous BOS picture. Giant speakers, yeah, they kind of do, yeah. But you have to, back then there was no like UI design was not a thing. It was just like whatever the developers did is whatever the developers did. They hadn't really thought much about UX and UI design. And this OS was done by an old Apple engineer, by the way. Like, this OS, I will fanboy over, okay? This is the only OS that will make me into a Linux user. Like, acting like a Linux user. Well, I don't even. I think it has had it almost from the beginning. The system registry. It's older than you think. Oh, man. Just, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Honestly, the computing world was so fun in the 90s and early 2000s. Because there was so much competition and so much innovation. Like, if you bought a computer back then, and you wanted to be running the latest software and games, you almost had to buy a total new computer every 2 years or so. 2 to 3 years. Like, you had to do it. Because, or else you couldn't keep up with the software and stuff like that. But yeah, this is like... just a blur. No, it was so aggressive back in the day. You know, I also have to remember the internet was kind of new, so there was no rule on the internet. You get whatever the fuck you want on the internet. Like, if you were a private-loving person, well... there were actually basically no rules, so you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted. Like in the late 90s, early 2000s. You could just download whatever the fuck you want. Because there was no real rules. There was no laws put in place to punish you. There were people selling drugs on the internet. Now they're doing it on the dark web, but they did it on the just regular internet. Hey, welcome back, Lamer. Yeah, it probably would. Well, it probably would not, because, the people that use Linux would never use Mac or Windows. Like, they just never would do it. They would go over to FreeBSD or something like that. Yeah, I would stay out of anything that has to do with the dark web, if I was you. Like, it's so easy to get into places where you, well, can end up in a bad spot, basically. Oh yeah, Marble Cake is actually really good, yeah. This was their when they did hardware, this is their box they did. I so wanted one of those. Like, this was a system they sold. And back in the day when every box was like beige, this was like a fucking... Like, this was like a Ferrari or Lambo or something like that. You're just like, oh... Yeah, BOS. This here, you could do this in BOS in the late 90s, mid 90s. You could just click one of these boxes here and turn off a core on your CPU. No, Tor is not a VPN. No, it's way more complicated than that. But you could on the fly turn on and off cores of your CPU or physical CPUs. No, Layman, I don't know how many times I have to tell you. BOS is not Haiku. Because the BOS code is proprietary. The Haiku code is not. However, it is done by a lot of the same engineers. And inspired by BOS, but it's not BOS. I think a German company called Zeta or Celta or something like that bought the source code for BOS. No, Palm did. Palm bought it. Palm bought the source code for BOS. Palm did it. Haiku is just the spiritual successor. The spiritual successor, I think you will call it. Yeah, Palm bought... so if you're using Palm OS for some fucking weird reason, you will be using... Oh, that's me! The desktop OS is... This desktop OS is more advanced than Windows and Linux. Yeah, I got some hate for that. I've already seen that one. So this is the main guy. He used to be an Apple engineer or something like that. I think he was the head for the European office or something. And he was French. Yeah, but there's nothing good comes out of that. I see no good reason to Google yourself. Yeah, he worked in Apple. Yeah. Oh, back in the day when you got DVDs or CDs. Ooh. Good old Mac. Yeah, I hope it went well. I do like Secure. Wait till the new Windows Vista comes out for macOS, like in a few months. Then you have to update again. Let's go really nuts. No, that's not the one. Yeah, I would not. I hear a lot of people have issues with the beta version of it. So this is Linux. This is when Linux was Linux. I actually had one of these, some of these boxes here. Good old Mandrake. It actually survived quite a long time. In good old Paris. It's a French distro. Look at how KDE used to look like. Yeah, like I said, the snapping is really good. That's why you should never try betas, because then you're like, oh, it didn't work in the beta, so I'm not going to upgrade. Like, you make a lot of bad IT decisions a lot of times. Well, this one here was probably the king. This one and SUSE was the king. Yeah, Program is also human. I watched him quite a lot, yeah. Yeah, this one here and SUSE was like the king, and Red Hat. Those were the three big ones in that area. Look at how ugly KDE used to look like. Ugly motherfucker. You do, because you were on the beta and snapping was not good. The last live stream, you bitched and moaned about how macOS snapping is bad. You're just contradicting yourself right now. Like, massively contradicting yourself. Yeah, of course it did, yeah. Yeah, it always ripped off Windows. I miss the old Mandrake. Look, like a little cute nerdy penguin. And you could buy this in stores, by the way. GNOME was way more popular. GNOME was always like the most popular desktop environment. But GNOME has always GNOME has always tried to be macOS, and KDE has always tried to be Windows from a UI perspective. Yeah, but you still think it's crap because you only tried the beta, and it was crap in the beta. So you did judge it because then you would know that it was fixed, and then you would have updated because it was fixed. Like, they had fun back in the day. Like, I love this, like, Mandrake wizard here. Like, they actually fucking had fun with Linux back in the day. Oh, like a good box of fucking DVDs you could throw after you fucking product. Oh, wait, my watch is yelling at me, go away. Yeah, the early version of KDE was really not that good. Ooh, I had this version. Ooh. Yeah, Compass was really fun, yeah. No, GNOME is not the default. None of them are. So this was like a really, really good Slackware-based distribution from Canada that made Slackware easy to run and maintain and whatnot. I used to run this quite a lot. And it ran XFCE as its main DE. Whoop. Good old Vector Linux. This is the most used distribution I ever ran in the olden days. I used to buy every time they got a release out of SUSE, I had this one, I had this one. That's the same. Yeah, old SUSE was like the fucking bee's knees, man. And you got the whole repository when you bought that DVD set. So they burned the whole repository into a DVD. And you got like a fucking 1,000-page manual on how to administrate and run and configure Linux. All the way down to the kernel. You had like 3 or 4 books you could just read about how to run Linux. And on top of that, they had an installation guide. And again, you could buy this in stores. And you got little like figurines with Linux merch every time you bought it. Oh, the days, the days, the days. Ooh, I think I had that one also. And this one? You see how big the box is? It's massive! It's huge! Here's the fun thing, I think I had that one also. If you live in Germany, you can still buy a boxed version of SUSE Linux. Of OpenSUSE. They still sell boxed I think they do. Last time I checked, they did. They still sell boxed version, but only for German. Everything is in German. Look at that thick boy. Look at this fucking shit. That was how much documentation there was in it. Ah, fuck it. Yeah, I thought it would be bigger, but it's not. So most of this was documentation. Like, look at this fucking... Like, look at these thick boys. This is where I got most of my Linux knowledge from, was reading these fucking stupid books. Look. Administration handbook. Like, that's some fucking, like... That's some good bedside reading there, my friends. Well, that's what you had before the internet had a lot of the information in it. You know, like, back then you couldn't just go on the internet and find this information. It was really, really hard to find it. Oh, I remember this fucking this book here. That was the quick installation manual. Now I want to run SUSE Linux again. What the fuck? I actually haven't run it in a long time. So disk 1 would probably just be your installation disk, and all of the rest here was the whole repository. Oh, and you got stickers and shit like that also. Oh. And look how fun it was back. Like, they made fun, you know, it was fun to... The character was fun to look at. Yeah, you got stickers and everything. Linux was just more fun back in the day. People didn't take it that seriously. Look at this fat boy. And it was kind of expensive. I think it was like 30, 40 dollars or something like that, or euros. I think more euros, but hand the book. Yeah. It was fun running Linux back then. You actually had to fix a lot of fucking hardware problems and software incompatibilities. I used to fuck so much around with this distribution. Holy crap. Look at this shit. MP3 and real player. X386, I think, was the Xorg version, the VMware. KDE 2.0 version beta. I don't mind GNOME. I can make it tolerable, but I don't prefer it. I'm so angry that I had like 3 or 4 boxes. Like SUSE Linux boxes. I'm so angry that I threw them out. But if you're using a bunch of extensions, are you really running GNOME? Ah, good old SUSE. I don't think OpenSUSE have like changed their fucking web page in decades. Nope. Oh yeah, GNOME definitely restrict users more than Mac does. Definitely. Oh wait. Yeah, they are weird like that. Yeah, this looks so outdated. It's so old. Wants to cut your non-SUSE Linux bill in half. You guys are going to be surprised about how expensive it is to run Linux. It's 50% of Linux cost. Intel. Still. Use good old Zuzal. Leadership. I think they just got a new CEO. Yeah. Somewhat recently. Freedom to innovate anywhere. Start with commitments of our team. Management board leaders. Oh, we already looked at all those. Are people still angry at Red Hat? Our good old favorite Chinese distribution. Red Hat Summit. Oof. Of course they are. Siemens. We deal a lot with them. Yeah, they're fucking Xorg. Yeah. They actually used to have like some really good courses in here. Explore the new version. Oh, she's levitating. That's how much in love she are with me, is because that she's levitating. Well, Xorg's code was shit or is shit. Like, it is. Red Hat Insights. The wait is over. Don't tell me what it is and it's not over. It is somewhat of a heavy site though. Like, it feels heavy to navigate. Let's get drunk. Now I want. I have a liter of beer in my fridge. Like, I could get plastered. Jesus Christ, I just remember it. I have like a liter of fucking like Belgian beer in my fridge. It's been there for like over a week. Time to get drunk. We should do a drunk stream one day though. But I want booze. I haven't had like a liquor in forever. Oh, did you guys see? Microsoft. I wish I could drink. Well, you could drink beer at work. You probably just would not have a work anymore. Most people don't have a problem with Xorg or X11. It's just that Wayland just is newer and flashier, and that's why people like it. Before, it was really like viable to use. They didn't complain that much about Xorg. Now they just complain about it because they can. Boom. This is actually a really good song from like, and it's like copyright free. I hope it is anyway. Is this a Tesla fabric? No, I don't think it is. It looks more like a fucking Volkswagen or something like that. Über Spotify. Top 10 most toxic Linux YouTubers, all of them. Best Buy. AT&T. Bloomberg. Intel. Dell. They'll use a lot of distributions, apparently. Workstation laptops with optimized AI and machine learning. NVIDIA, AMD, Lenovo. Data center automation, Verizon, Telefonica, Tele2, TIM, NEC. That's a super old company, by the way, NEC. Smart robots of all shapes and sizes. ABB, PAL, so these we work with, and BMW. Multi-cloud, Panasonic, Scania, Zippet, Switchcode. Where's Valve? Where's Bob in his basement? Oh, there's pricing here. Pricing desktop. Yeah, if I should go full-time Linux, I would probably use Ubuntu. You love Lenovo. That's more expensive than fucking Apple products. Congratulations. Congratulations. And Lenovo is a Chinese company. So... What the fuck? It's so hot in my apartment that my chocolate is semi-smelt, like soft. That will probably come at some point. They've worked on it for years now. But Apple don't release anything, or they did Apple AI or Apple Intelligence, but they normally don't release anything until they're happy with it. But they've been talking about, I think, actually they did release, was it in the 90s, they released a gaming console. But yeah, they've been talking about an Apple handheld before the Steam Deck, I think. You know. No, here's the thing. Lenovo stands against everything the Linux world stands for. No, they didn't cancel it. It's just like... It's the same with the car, you know. So, there's been rumors for over 10 years that Apple was working on an electrical vehicle. And they hadn't officially acknowledged it. And last year, they officially cancelled the project. Yeah, they did in the 90s, Lamer. In the 90s. Like... By that nature, Steam or Valve have released more gaming console and failed than Apple had, so... but they have not officially cancelled or recognized... Yeah, the iCar or Apple Car, it went by different names for a long time. Heck, you know Apple Vision? People talked about Apple doing some virtual reality stuff for over 10 years. And then we got the Apple Vision. So, unless Apple says it, I won't believe anything. You know, unless Apple comes out and officially acknowledges it, I don't believe anything. Car and toss, yeah. Oh, wait, did we see... No. Seasick. That's like from Mass Effect. Holy shit, this is like white. Holy shit. This is like looking at Lamer without clothes on. I'm getting blinded here. Look at the pricing. Well, PHP. Oh my god, they're still around. Yeah, no, it's not. Hey, George. No, PHP is still fucked up. Download the datasheet. Yep. Robust. All proprietary software, only besides that one. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Ubuntu Desktop Enterprise Services, $50,000 fucking dollars. Ubuntu Desktop Enterprise Services Plus, $105,000. Congratulations. Well, most people are not $10 million companies. They're actually, like, not a lot of those around, to be honest. Yoink. How to integrate Ubuntu Desktop with Active Directory. Group policy support. Privilege management and ability to remove local admin accounts. Oh, I wish we had that at work. Remote script execution. Oh, I really want that at work. Management of app armor profile. Oh, it would be so good. Monitoring of network shares. Oh, so much easier. Configuration of proxy settings. Let's look at the clawiness that's Mac Mini servers. Good old Mac Mini. I wonder how, like, I wonder if they have like a special deal with Apple or something. Like, imagine like going on to Apple's website and say, "Yeah, I want to order 500 Mac Minis" or something like that. There's even fucking rack mounts you can put Mac Minis into. Holy shit, this is Mac Studios. Are they using them as servers now? What the fuck? Whoa. Like, that's an expensive machine. Oh, people have already done that. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, good old Xserve. Yeah, look, it's fucking, what are they called? Mac Studios. I don't think a server rack is a studio. Oh, wait, not, I forget about that then. Well, macOS have run, like, back in the 2000s, the universities would take Macs and make supercomputers out of them because it was cheaper than buying a supercomputer. Steve Jobs even talked about it in one of his keynotes. Mac Studio in the cloud. Bare metal configuration accessible remotely from VN. Holy fuck, they are selling access to on-demand, get up, on-demand computers. No contact required or contract. Dedicated computer, full admin control. The fuck? Google uses. What the fuck? Yeah, it's basically like you're remoting into it. Optimized for popular development stacks: Docker, Homebrew, OpenAI, Olama, PostgreSQL, MySQL. View all stacks. Xcode, Apache, Membrol, Kubernetes. Oh, FileMaker, Git. Oh, Mongo. Oh, TensorFlow, Metal. Superbase, you can. Oh. macOS cannot be used as a server. Oh, we so should send this to fucking quiz titles, take mental outlaw, this to tube, and all the fucking acolytes. Where did we see the pricing again? Get a dedicated data server for your business. Get a dedicated AI computer for your business. Self-hosting. Oh, she looks kind of cute. $1,000 per month, 1 year commitment. That's expensive. Well, a lot of Linux users say Mac can't be a server. Man, I thought first when I just looked at it fast, I thought there was a guy showing his bot, but well, why the fuck would you like pay $1,000 to use a Mac though? Private AI, $300 monthly. What do we want to self-host? Llama GTP. A Bookstack. iServer, iNAS. Well, they do this because you don't want to buy the computer yourself, because you want to have access to it all over the world, and you don't want to deal with the infrastructure cost and maintenance and whatnot. Or you want to use it as a remote backup, whatever you can stream off. Holy fuck. Are people still selling these? Tools and toys. Oh, dude. It's not an X-Serve. They put a Mac Mini in there with like an extension board. Oh. This is actually like super interesting. Oh, I think I know why you would do it. It uses less power. The fuck are we listening to? Where to buy? Amazon. Dude, they need to update their website. It looks like something from the fucking 2010s. This is a little bit more fucking legacy products. Yeah. Thunderbolt 4 DMS is fine. Mac extension. Oh, that's kind of cool. Little bucket. You put your Mac Mini underneath the table. I actually think about buying one of these for my Mac Mini. Hey, Don. I actually think about getting one for my Mac Mini. Well, we have it here. One of these. Like, you can get them way cheaper on, like, Amazon and shit like that. Look. I kind of want one of those. I don't need, like, this secure thingy. Also, is that impeding airflow? Whoever fucking designed this power bot needs to be kicked in the balls or vagina, like, massively fucking hard. Oh no, it's not restricting airflow. How much is it though? Buy now. Oh, that's not a that's actually that's not that fucking expensive. I thought it was more. That's actually doable. That's like a game. And you can of course get it for half the price if you don't need like the fucking theft protection and all that. Every time you update, you turn it on and off. Yeah, for like a security, you know. Like something that's built for security, this is actually like not bad. You asked me how often you power off your computer, and I said every time you update. That turns it on and off. So because I've seen them for like $20-$30 on like Amazon without the without this security bracket and stuff like that. But this one is definitely better built. Like it's better quality. Well, I've used it once or twice, the power button. But they still should get kicked in the balls. There's no excuse for it being there. Heck, put it in the front. You know, have it in the front at least. And not in the back. That I would excuse a little bit more. If it was in the front side. Like, honestly, had I lived in the States, I probably would have bought this one. Yeah, I would probably buy... Like, had I lived in the States, I more than likely would have bought one of these. Like, that's not, like... What is it in Danish crowns? Let's see. Where's the freedom money in my converter? Huh? Where the fuck is it? Windows, what are you calling it? Is it American dollars? Is it United States dollars? Is it just dollars? What is it? Where the fuck is it in the list? The Bahamas dollar, that's not what I want. Yeah, but it's not... Where the fuck is it? Oh, wait. No. I have United Emirates. I have United Kingdom. Where the fuck is the dollar? Are you trying to do something to me? Peso. Australian dollar. Don't tell me they're taking out the dollar. Danish crowns. Hong Kong. Indonesia. Jamaica dollar. Liberia. Dollar. Dubai. New Zealand. Danish dollar. Is anyone on Windows right now? We don't even have the Canadian dollar. What? Oh, we do have the Canadian dollar. Am I really that fucking blind? We have Singapore in dollar. Swedish koruna. Taiwan new dollar. Not the old one, the new one. If anyone is on Windows, try open the calculator and then go into currency and see if you can find the American dollar. Like, am I... Oh, 3 days ago they did. Windows 11 and Windows 10 calculator apps server-side changes has accidentally removed the USD from the currency conversion tool. This issue was also spotted last year, but it was patched via a server-side update. Holy fuck! Okay, so I'm not stupid then. Yeah, this is a few days ago, yeah. What the fuck? So that has been a problem for like... So it's a server-side issue they need to fix, but... Well, it's not up. No, it's not up. Like... Have they had like a disenfranchised employee doing some bad shit crazy again? Well, the dollar and the euro is almost identical, so... At least it's almost the same. Yeah, it's not... Like, in Danish crowns, this is not too expensive. Jesus Christ. How can they fuck that up? Like, come on. How can you fuck this up? Like... 4 days ago. They probably use a database to get like the exchange rates and stuff like that, and that database just for some fucking reason took out the US currency. It actually fits with the update now I'm thinking about it, yeah. The random toast. That's a decent fucking name, to be honest. Well, we probably get like a hotfix soon, I hope. Well, it's been 4 days since it's been out, so... How the fuck can you fuck that up? Yeah, honestly, man, come on. This is an ugly laptop bag. It's only $5 though, so I can kinda forgive it, but fuck, it's ugly. Like, I would feel ashamed running with this. These guys seem to sell a little bit of everything, it looked like. Sonic Tech. US Canadian store. International customer, where to buy? Select your country. We have the good old Viking... Oh, there you go. So this is a German. This is a German. This is a Danish. What the fuck are you selling? I actually may fucking get this one, to be honest. Again, like, I don't know why people have bad websites designed in 2025. Like, come on, dude. Oh, there's a photographer. Gotcha. They don't have it in stock. Well, fuck you then. I kind of like to have this like purpley blue kind of, background thingy going on. But $1,000 per month for a server, they fucking sell. They have to sell me fucking champagne on top of that, to be honest. I need that champagne. That's actually kind of cool. Who would want like a server farm with Mac Minis? Think about the resale value. There's a fucking fortune living in there. Boom, 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 boom. That looks cool, right? Like, you need to be a rich motherfucker to home lapping a Mac Mini server rack. Look at this fucking shit. Yeah, I don't think they will do that well for bit mining. Bit mining. You need a really beefy graphic card for that. Like, this is just showing off. Mac Stadium. There's like fucking Mac Minis all over the fucking place. Why don't you have a dark mode? 8,000 Mac Minis. Yep. Is there anyone here we know? Stack Adapt. Sounds funny. Mubai is like a streaming platform? Yeah. They have a lot of customers. It's probably a never-ending fucking... That's Lamer's job. They more than likely are way more quieter than any other server room you go into. Look at these fans. Oh, Santa is here. Yeah, that's the dude I was talking about. This dude here. How rich do you need to be to, like... Let's just say it's $500, so that's $2,500 in that fucking rack there. Who the fuck are you sucking off to get that amount of money to do that? He does have a decent side, like, channel, though. I think this is, like, Espanol? Oh! Welcome to your nightmare. Yeah. I hate cable management. So they managed 200 Mac Minis for iOS development. Oh, blindness. Yeah, go away. Oh. Oh, they do a lot of virtualization, I guess. Let's run a marathon. No. How we integrate native macOS workloads with Kubernetes? Wait, what? Are they doing a new paradigm? Finally, someone that fucking agrees with me that MVVM is a trap. I love you, Apple. Let me put my penis in your circuitries. Wait, is he showing heat? Oh yeah, he is. Wait, didn't you install Ubuntu? What happened with Ubuntu? Oh, okay. Metal! Anyway, I need to go. Yeah, it's a work week, or work day, so I just want to spend some time or waste some time before I had to do my thing. So thanks for stopping by. See you all later. Have fun. Watch my latest video. And remember to tell your friends to subscribe. See you all later.